Hey guys, welcome to day 2 of solving literal equations. Okay, they're going to get a little more complicated, but let's try to follow along. Okay, here we're going to solve for x. Okay, in this case we need to get our terms together. Any terms that have x need to be on the same side of the equation. So to do that, I'm going to subtract bx from both sides. And that cancels out on the right side. And on the left side, we'll have ax minus bx is equal to negative c. Okay, from there, we're actually going to do a reverse distributive, and we're going to factor out an x. So this would become x times a minus b is equal to negative c. Okay, from here now, because I'm taking x and multiplying by a minus b, I can divide by a minus b, the opposite operation. Okay, and I do that to one side, I can do that to the other. So now I've got my x by itself. So x would actually be equal to x is equal to negative c all over a minus b. Okay, so that would be my answer. Okay, number 2, we're solving for x again. So in this case, I have a times x plus b. I'm going to start by dividing both sides by my a. Okay, when I do that, x plus b is equal to c divided by a. The a's would cancel out. Okay, now I need to get the b to the other side, and I'm going to do that simply by subtracting b on both sides. X would be equal to c divided by a minus b. Okay, number 3 again, I'm solving for x. So because I'm dividing by b, let's do the inverse operation and multiply both sides by b. When I do that, bc is equal to x plus a. All right, x needs to be by itself, so I'm going to subtract a from both sides. So bc minus a is equal to x, or I can write this as x is equal to bc minus a. Okay, the fourth one, we're still solving for x. Okay, I see it looks like a proportion. I'm going to set it up like one. So this is going to be c times x is going to be a times b. And now to solve for x, all I have to do in this case is divide by c. So x is equal to ab divided by c. All right, and number 5 gets a little bit more complicated. Let's see. So I'm going to take number 5 and I'm going to multiply both sides. Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually subtract the b and bring it to the other side. So let's subtract b first. Let's get rid of the other term so that just the term that has x in it is all by itself. So x divided by a is going to be equal to c minus b. Okay, now to get x by itself, because we're dividing by a, we can take and multiply this side by a. We can do the same thing to the other side. These would cancel out. Get my pen to work. And x would be equal to, and we'll just rewrite this as a times c minus b. Or we can actually distribute and say x is equal to ac minus ab. Okay, now number 6, okay, we're solving for we're solving for x, so we're going to subtract our a. When we do that, we've got a negative bx is equal to c minus a, and then we're just going to divide by negative b. X is equal to c minus a divided by negative b. Okay, you guys doing okay so far? All right, moving on to the next one. All right, to write an equation so that y is a function of x means to solve for y. Okay, so y is a function of x would actually look like this. Get my pen to work. All right, so if we're solving for y, we're just going to subtract 2x from both sides. Y is equal to, you can write this as negative 2x plus 7, or you could write it as y is equal to 7 minus 2x. I prefer to have it in this format, and it'll be obvious in a couple of units why we're doing it like that. Want the variable first. That's actually the equation of a line. Okay, so the second one, we're solving for y, so we're going to subtract 5x from both sides. When I do that, for y is going to be equal to negative 5x plus 10. All right, y needs to be by itself, so I'm now going to divide by 4. So I can write this as y is equal to negative 5/4 x plus 10/4. I can further simplify that to be y is equal to negative 5/4 x plus 5/2. All I did was simplify that fraction. All right, number 9. solving for y again. So I'm actually just going to subtract my 11 from both sides. And notice I have a like term here. Okay, so 3 minus 11 is negative 8 plus 6x. These will cancel out, is equal to negative 4y. Now I'm going to divide both sides by negative 4. Okay, negative 8 divided by negative 4 plus 6x divided by negative 4 is equal to y. I'm going to simplify. Negative 8 divided by negative 4 is 2. Then I have negative 3x over 2 is equal to y. And I can write this as y is equal to negative 3x over 2 plus 2. All I do is switch it around. All right, the last one we've got is we're going to subtract. We're solving again for y. So we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. 6y is going to be equal to 3x, and we combine our terms. Positive 4 minus 2 is plus 2. Then we divide everything by 6. Y is going to be equal to 3x over 6 plus 2 over 6, which we can simplify to be y is equal to x over 2 plus 1/3. Okay. Moving on to the word problems. Okay. For the word problems, we're actually going to stop right here for a minute. Okay. It says the penny size d of a nail is given by the formula d equals 4n minus 2, where n is the length in inches of the nail. Solve the formula for n. So the first thing we're going to do is solve for n. So d is equal to 4n minus 2, and I want n to be by itself. I'm going to start by adding 2 to both sides. When I do that, I've got d plus 2 is equal to 4n. And now I'm going to divide both sides by 4. Okay? When I do that, I get d divided by 4 plus 2 over 4 is equal to my n. I can simplify and switch it around. N is equal to d divided by 4. Whoops, a little messy. Figure that out. Okay, so it's going to be d divided by 4 plus 1/2. Okay, so that's the first part. We solved for n. Use the new formula to find the length of nails with the following penny sizes. So what we're actually doing is we want an input. Okay, we're solving for we have an input of our d's, which would be let's do a little chart here. This is a little bit easier. Okay, and then our output would be n. So our formula is going to be we're going to take our input, and it's going to be d divided by 4. Okay, plus 1/2. So for input of 5, we would actually have 5/4 plus 1/2, and our output would be 7/4. Okay, an input of 12 would give us 12/4 plus 1/2, which would be 3.5. Input of 16 would give us 16/4 plus 1/2, which would be 4.5. And a d of 20 would give us 20/4, which is 5, plus 1/2, which would be 5.5. Okay. Now I know I went through that really fast. All I'm doing is plugging in for d, the 5, and that's how. And then we're doing our fractions: 5/4 plus 1/2. And I'll do a little fraction down here: 5/4 plus 2/4, because remember you need an equivalent fraction, and that's how we get our 7/4 right there. Okay. All right. Number 12, the formula for finding the volume of a cylinder is volume equals pi r squared h, where r represents the radius and h represents the height. Using the formula, find the equation that can be used to find the height, h. So we're solving for h. B is equal to pi r squared h. If we want h by itself, all we have to do is divide by pi r squared. And we can do that just in one step. Whatever we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other. So to solve for h is actually going to be equal to v divided by pi r squared. So that would be our answer. Okay, number 13. The formula for finding the area of a trapezoid is A is equal to 1/2 the height times B1 plus B2. Solve for h. So we want to get h by itself. We're going to get the formula. A equals 1/2 h times B1 plus B2. Okay. We're going to multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of the fraction. Okay, so 2a is going to be equal to 2a times 1/2 is 1. So we're left with h times b1 plus b2. Since we're solving for h, we're multiplying h times b1 plus b2. We're going to do the inverse operation, which is to divide by b1 plus b2. When we do that to one side, we've got to do it to the other. All right, so they cancel out, and we're left with 2a divided by b1 plus b2 is equal to h. Or we can rewrite it as h is equal to 2a divided by b1 plus b2. Okay, the last, I believe this is the last one. Almost there. Okay. Number 14. The equation of a line is represented by y equals mx plus b, where m represents the slope and b represents the y-intercept. What is the equation that would be used to find the y-intercept? So the y-intercept is actually the b, so we're solving for b. If y equals mx plus b, to solve for b, all we have to do is subtract mx from both sides. Okay, so y minus mx is equal to b, or we can write this as b is equal to y minus mx. Okay, number 15. The standard form of an equation of a line is ax plus by equals c. We're solving for y. We're going to start by, let's write the problem down. Ax plus by is equal to c. Solving for y. So we're going to start by subtracting the other term, the ax. So we've got by is equal to negative ax plus b. And then we're going to divide both sides by b. Y is equal to negative ax divided by b plus c divided by b. The formula to convert between Fahrenheit and Celsius is Fahrenheit is 9/5 C plus 32. Find the formula if you're given a Fahrenheit temperature and you need to find the Celsius temperature. So we're looking to solve for C. We're going to start out with the formula. Oops. Okay, so we're going to start by subtracting 32 from both sides. We got f minus 32 is equal to 9/5 c. And now we want to get c by itself, so we're actually going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is 5/9. Whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So we end up with 5/9 times f minus 32 is equal to our c. We can rearrange that. C is equal to 5/9 times f minus 32. Okay, that's it.